Mayor Gambino, can you please have place?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moment of silence for the men and women in the armed forces, our first responders, our veterans, those fighting the good fight in Ukraine, those suffering from the military conflict in the Middle East. A special memorial for Mr. Adam Weaver. For those that knew him, he was instrumental in the trains that are at the railroad station and are at the library during Christmas time. Thank you. Katie?
The American's Creed by William Tyler Page. I believe in the United States of America, the government of the people, by the people, for the people, whose just powers are derived from consent of the governed, a democracy and a republic, a sovereign nation of many sovereign states, a perfect union, one and inseparable, established upon those principles of freedom, equality, justice, and humanity, for which American patriots sacrificed their lives and fortunes. I therefore believe my duty to my country to love it, to support its Constitution, to obey its laws, to respect its flag, and to defend it against all enemies.
Sal, do you have anybody for public comment?
I do not have anybody on the list, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Sal.
And, Sal?
Katie?
Yes, Ms. Katie Francis.
One place, let's see. This won't take long. Hi, Katie Francis, 123 Candlewood Mountain Road. I just want to remind everybody who's listening and sitting here that this Saturday, the 14th, will be Wreaths Across America ceremonies. There's 4,600 ceremonies take place in the country. Over 2 million wreaths will be laid. In our town, we have the St. Francis Xavier, where I will be, the DAR. We are going to try to cover 400 and some grave sites. And then Center Cemetery, Jean Mariano will also have a service there. So they all start at noon promptly. And anyone who would like to join, please do. We do have the volunteers to come and place wreaths on grave sites. And then we say each veteran's name out loud to keep his memory. So I hope some of you out there can make it.
Katie?
Okay, item number, first of all, I'd like to move to add an item to the agenda.
Second.
We don't even know what. Okay, good.
I want to raise, but
No, this is, just want to add some new trustee for our library, Jennifer Kramer. So that'd be item 5, I think it'd be 5B as in boy. Bob seconded. Okay.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions?
Okay. Items 4A and B, I'd like to move to approve the prior minutes from November 25th and the tax collection balance.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions?
And 5, mayor's comments.
Thank you, Katie. First, we'd like to thank American Legion Commander Delancey, VFW Command Mayor, for Pearl Harbor ceremony that we had this past Saturday. And when we spoke, I know the chief was there as well. And New Milford continues to remember. That's what's a hallmark of our town, and especially during these services. We always seem as a community to remember these type of events. So I wanted to thank them. Also wanted to thank Kathy Mayer. She's the VFW Ladies Auxiliary. She was there. Kathy from the MIA POW. The chief was there. The deputy chief were there. Also some great words for the ceremony. Also wanted to thank Buck and Tina Obi for doing a wonderful rendition of the national anthem. So thank you. I want to thank New Milford Ambulance, Ellen Healy, Missouri, Judy Lynn Furlow, Leslie Colmer, America Lopez, Teresa Colville, and Valerie Adams Last week, they had a Heart Saver CPR class for the general public. And wanted to thank the public who also came out and took the class. As we all know, the more people that are CPR certified, especially when someone is in need of CPR, the better the outcome's going to be. So thank you to the ambulance for putting that on, and the public for participating. I want to thank New Milford Lions Club President Matt Roach and the entire Lions Club. This past weekend, they had the Lions Club Christmas party for the seniors. Had, I believe, 140, I think it was, seniors there. I want to thank the Boy Scout Troop 58, the Scotticoke Leos for their help in serving at the party, and Senior Center staff were there as well as we bused some of our seniors that couldn't get there to there, which is great. I want to thank On the Road Band for the great music, and again, VFW Commander Mayor and VFW for the use of their facilities. And thank you to Debbie Faust and the Rad Party Committee as they put on Beatlemania, and that proceeds go to help the classes at the high school. And want to thank her also for allowing me to talk about Pearl Harbor Day at the beginning of Beatlemania, and we honored those veterans for their service that were in attendance. So thank you, Jay Lewis and Peggy Ford, and the entire Oddfellows Lodge. I know, Chris, I saw you out there for their toy drive. It helps you go through social services. And the same with Chief Surio and the men and women. And in the morning, they had their stuffed cruiser, all very successful for our children in need. And as Ivana had talked to me about it, we put it out on our social media sites, the need for toys and to sponsor the children this year for the Santa Fund is the greatest it's ever been. Well over 500 and some children are needing assistance. So any help, we'll talk about that in just more in a moment. And thank you, Chief, and the Galesburg Fire Department. Great hand dinner you guys had. It was awesome. And for those that want to donate to any of our fire departments to help them, because it's all volunteer, you can do so. And each one of the fire departments put the memo, which one it is. I'm sure they will greatly appreciate it. Also, want to thank the library friends of the library. They had their book sale, and those monies go to help the library. They've been super successful in helping us with that.
Many years.
Absolutely. And for those that attended the Sip and Stroll, I want to thank Gary Goldring. I want to thank Meredith and Katie for a great Sip and Stroll. Obviously, our downtown merchants as well. They had 496 attendees, and the funds, the proceeds, which are going to be around $3,000 for each first responder group. So thank you very, very much for them and the volunteers for the spectacular Sip and Stroll. Moving on to a couple of other things. We talked about the Santa Fund. If you get a chance, you can go on our social sites and you can see, I don't know if you can hone in on this, but Santa Fund, there's a QR code, or you can contact the mayor's office. We still need some wonderful donors for the Santa Fund to help those in need. Also, I talked to Jasmine. We have seniors that are in need to have at least a gift or two for them. So we're doing Santa for seniors. We have a tree that's at the senior center. You can pick one off and be the kind of the patron for the senior. There's a little ticket that you can get, and you can bring that back to them. Also, the senior center is doing Holly Jolly Holiday Party on December 20th at 12 p.m. If you're a senior, please attend. That would be really appreciated.
I just wanted to say about the sponsors, as of, I guess it was Thursday, John and I were talking, there were still 90 children on a list that had not yet had a sponsor. So if anybody, and it, it could be a gift card, whatever. If you're interested, contact the social services office and sponsor a child.
And before we get into DPW, a couple of things event-wise. So December 13th at 7 p.m., which is Friday, the Faith Church, they're doing the greatest show, a Christmas musical. They always do a great show for Christmas time. 9 a.m. to noon at St. John's Church is doing the indoor farmers markets. They're going indoors. December 14th, 12:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Max is Brian Cody's Children's Holiday Bazaar. And there's a place where you can go on their website and register. Space is limited. Also on the 14th at 6:30 p.m. on the bandstand is the annual Carol Sing. And then right after that, 7 p.m. is our Holiday Parade of Lights, which is going to be, again, amazing. Thank you to Waterwitch and all of those that bring their wonderful vehicles out. And the kids and families just absolutely love that. So amazing. Also on the 14th, 10 a.m., 10:30 a.m., 11:30 a.m. at Bank Street Theaters, Polar Express, the movie. Haven't had a chance to see that at the theaters. That's a wonderful thing, especially if you bring your children or grandchildren to that. December 15th at noon to 3 p.m. the downtown merchant shops is Cookie and Cocoa Crawl. On December 24th, 7 p.m. the First Congregational Church doing their Christmas Eve service. December 28th is again the indoor flea market, or indoor farmers market at St. John's Church. And then this Thursday, on the 12th, the Chamber of Commerce doing their business scene, 5:30 at Housatonic Brewery. A couple of things continuing on. Wanted to thank Chief Ceruto and the Minnesota Police Department. They had their 5th class of the Citizens Academy. It was great to see all of those very wonderful and grateful residents as they come in and learn more about our police department. Youth agency. Want to thank Kathy Hanley, Chelsea Kapiknik from Western Connecticut Coalition. They conducted a roundtable discussion with our student advisory board, focusing on vaping and nicotine use. Just wanted to thank them as they talked to our student advisory board about the issues with that. Also wanted to congratulate intervention manager Stacy, who attended a restorative justice and juvenile justice symposium at Quinnipiac University of Law, which was great. And then the importance, as we all talk about, when it comes to intergenerational partnerships between the youth agency and the senior center. The student volunteers went to Glen Eyre and they helped with the Thanksgiving celebration. So that was great with the volunteers going to Glen Eyre. Also wanted to thank Kristen Rock and Amanda Romano as they volunteer to teach the girls who code. So that's pretty cool. And Alexander Dorsch for taking the girls, to talking to girls about careers in cybersecurity, which is an up-and-coming career base. And it was great that they did that. And they're going to continue with more girls to code stuff. And then also want to thank the Senior Center as they did a senior movie. So they had 75 seniors go to see the new movie Wicked, which is down at Bank Street Theater. So thank you, Bank Street Theater, for having that for them. And then staying with the back to the police department on traffic statistics, traffic stops. Not going to take the thunder away because they're going to give us a quick update for us. Traffic stops were comparative at this time of the year 2023. We had 2,164. This year, so far, we have 3,267. It's an increase of 1,103 or 34%. Accidents in the year 2023, we had 845, 127 were parking lots. This year, 2024, is 870, 124 in parking lots. That's up 25 from the year prior. That's an increase. As I'm sure the chief will tell you, getting into that, this is everywhere. It's not just in Milford. It's not just the state of Connecticut. This is a national issue. And we need to continue, as the chief is, and the men and women to be very vigilant in traffic enforcement. Also, we'll see an increase in DUIs, that the chief will talk about, and how we are going to continue to enforce and really try and drive these statistics down. And then lastly, on DPW, I know Chuck is over here as well. Some of the, Chuck, can you give just a brief update on some of the road stuff that we have going on? Finished up?
Yeah, real quick, Mayor, we actually just wrapped up our construction season this past week. This year, we took out a lot. You saw us earlier, you're asking for some drainage money. So just for instance, 2022, we spent $200,000 in drainage materials. 2023, a little over 200,000. 2024, we spent $750,000 in drainage material. That's just to the contractor. That's not just what Highway does. That's what goes towards our contracted work. So we've been very busy this year with drainage projects, road reconstruction this year. Some highlights: Gaylord Road in its entirety, got completed. Mine Hill, April Drive, Maury Road, Legion Road, a lot of roads in poor, terrible condition were able to be redone this year and finished. The weather was nice. We extended it into December, and then it turned bad. So luckily we got it all wrapped up on time. But the one thing we were hoping to finish was Lake Road North, that center section. We got the drainage work completed, wrapped up and paved. First thing next spring, we'll come in there, we'll mill and pave that. That'll complete Candlewood Lake Road. So it's been a very busy season. Our contractors performed well. We've seen a lot of quality work, a lot of asphalt going down. Residents have reached out. We appreciate the support from all of them and from all of you for everything that we've done. But it's been a dry year, a very busy year, and we're happy to say we're complete. And now it's on for what's next. So you'll see soon, we report to the road committee that the next road list that's coming out, so that'll be out for posting. Spring's gonna be a little bit of a smaller schedule, just because the amount of time and money spent this past fall. Come July 1st, providing budgets go our way, we'll get right back into it with another full list, and we'll continue on. So I just want to, thank you for the opportunity to do the work we can and the support. Roads are getting better. We go by a PCI rating index, and we're knocking off all those low numbers and slowly bringing them all up. So thank you, but it was a good year.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thanks, Chuck. Thank you.
And that's all I got, Kate.
That's all?
More?
Item 5B, I'd like to move that we approve the appointment of Jennifer Kramer, Jenny, she likes to be called, as a trustee for the Milford Public Library.
Second.
Short term? Maybe as long as she'd like. I don't know. It's not on here. I can't tell you. How long is it?
2 years.
Oh, there you go. So it would be from today, which is 12/9/25 to
24.
20. It's just jumping ahead, I am, all right? And I'm gonna go to 26. Okay.
Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions?
Thank you. Item number 6, I'd like to move that we approve a request from the Youth Agency to accept a grant of $3,000 from the Connecticut State Department of Education in support of their school-based diversion initiative. This Connecticut State Department of Education looks to partner with local youth services bureaus in the state for the initiative, and they selected the Youth Agency as one of their youth agency service bureaus for this fiscal year. The awarded money will be deposited into account recommended by the finance director.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you.
Item 7, update from the chief.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Town Council. We're here tonight to talk about all the hard work our men and women of the New Milford Police Department do day in and day out. And that's where I wanted to start. I wanted to thank our officers for their good work, their hard work, and they're making a difference in this community. I want them to know that. I also want to thank our community, because our community support is what helps us continue to move forward. The relationships that we build within our community are so important to us, at the base level insofar as solving crimes, and all the way up through the different problems that we deal with as a community. We couldn't do it alone. And I also want to thank you. I want to thank our council and the mayor for your support. You're the leaders in our community. We look to you for your help and guidance, and you're always there for us, and we appreciate that. And to our town attorney, thank you also. You provide us excellent legal counsel. We trust and appreciate all you do for us, too. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief.
And of course, our command staff, I want to thank you for all the hard work you do. 6 years ago, we started moving forward. We haven't stopped yet. They know, and I say it often, if we always do what we've always done, we'll always get what we always got. And we're never happy with the status quo. We always believe in visionary leadership. We believe in thinking ahead, being ahead of the curve, and they do a great job at that. And I can't thank them enough for their assistance and for their buying into that thought process. Tonight, I have with me Lieutenant Relier. Lieutenant Relier is our Investigative Services Bureau lieutenant. She's in charge of all the investigations within our department, in charge of our detectives, in charge of our records division. She surely does a lot. She's a 19-year veteran of our police department, and I can't thank her enough for the hard work she does. I also have with me Lieutenant LaFond. Lieutenant LaFond is our Administrative Bureau Commander. Works on such important tasks like accreditation. By the way, we're moving ahead and going to a different level, a higher level of accreditation this year. He works on things like grants, very important issues, scheduling, fleet maintenance, and the list goes on and on. Lieutenant LaFond has been with the department going on 17 years, and I can't thank him enough for his service. Both of these two lieutenants were promoted earlier this year. Lastly, I have Lieutenant Wheeler with me. Lieutenant Wheeler is the senior man on the block. 31 years of service, and his experience is vast and an amazing asset to our department. Lieutenant Wheeler is in charge of our Field Services Bureau. That's the largest segment of our police department. That's the patrol division. They're the backbone of our police department. He also oversees our dispatchers and just many other aspects, and I can't thank you enough for all you've done for us, LT. So what I'd like to do tonight is give you an overview of what our police department has been doing as of late, and I want to have each of our lieutenants come in and talk about their certain aspect. So if we can start with Lieutenant Relier. Lieutenant, if you come up and give a brief on the ISB. Sure.
Good evening, Mayor Bass and all members of the Town Council. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to address all of you tonight. While we have many accomplishments from this past year, I will keep my remarks brief. In 2024, the New Milford Detective Bureau conducted 28 sex offender compliance checks, resulting in the arrest of one individual who was not in compliance with registration requirements. Additionally, one sex offender commented that had he known the frequency of our checks in New Milford, he would not have relocated here. This feedback reinforces that we are doing our job in actively monitoring some of the most dangerous individuals in our community. We also performed several probation and parole checks to ensure individuals are adhering to the conditions of their release from prison. Our efforts extended to conducting 13 vape shop inspections at various locations across town. Our primary focus was on establishments where we had received anonymous complaints about illegal sales to minors and also the sale of illegal marijuana. As a result, we issued 4 citations and arrested the owner of one of the establishments on 2 separate occasions after checks revealed he was in possession of and selling the equivalent to 10 pounds of marijuana. We collaborated with the Department of Labor, the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, and also the Department of Consumer Protection to temporarily close this establishment down. Protecting our youth is and always will be our #1 priority. I'm proud to share that 3 members of our Detective Bureau are now part of the Federal Internet Crimes Against Children's Task Force, which works to prevent the sexual exploitation of children online. In 2024, this collaboration led to the conviction of 2 New Milford predators who were sentenced to a combined total of 80 years in prison. They will serve a minimum of 38 of those 80 years. Our agency cannot do all of these things without your support, so I personally want to thank each and every one of you. We remain committed to serving and protecting this amazing community and look forward to 2025. Thank you.
Are those written comments that I can put in the minutes? Sure.
So you can see how serious we take it. Our Detective Bureau does an excellent job. They keep an eye on those who we need to watch and be aware of in our community. Our goal is public safety. And it's a lofty goal. There's over 28,000 people in this town. It's over 64 square miles. There's thousands of people that come here every day from other communities and other states. But the officers and detectives take it serious. And everything has to be working efficiently and effectively for us to reach that goal. And what is that goal? Keeping our children safe, keeping our elderly safe, keeping our community, our parks, our schools safe, keeping our roads safe, and it just goes on and on and on. But to reach that goal, everything down here and up the line has to be working. Patrol has to be clicking, the detectives have to be in sync, our administrators have to be really working hard to plan and think ahead. Our citizen base has to be working with us, and the tasks just go on and on. Our administrative lieutenant deals with a lot of those tasks. A lot of what he does is behind the scenes, but it's so important. Our grants, our accreditation, our fleet maintenance, our training, all very, very important topics. And I can't tell you how busy this lieutenant is, and I'm so happy he's here tonight to give you a brief on what he does. Lieutenant LaFont?
Sure. Good evening. Thank you. I appreciate it. There's a couple faces that I haven't seen in a while, but it's nice to see you guys again. Hope to be at these things more often. So as the chief said, the administrative role, my job is to support the officers behind the scenes. The chief mentioned that we haven't stopped in his years, and I can attest through all the projects we do that we have not slowed down at all. But I'll give you a couple highlights of what we've been working on. My job is always to try to make the department more efficient, get the resources for the officers so they can go out there and do their job, interact with the public. We implemented a new scheduling system a couple of years ago, and that's helped us be more efficient. It's also helped us with budget oversight, try to see where we're spending money on overtime, plan strategically in the future. The chief mentioned accreditation, so we're pushing into the tier 2 level. That is a state mandate. We went through tier 1, we were very successful. It helps us look at policies and procedures throughout the agency. It's a daunting test, there's a lot of steps. I think tier 2 with all the subsections is over 400 to 500 different areas of focus. So between myself, the command team, the deputy chief, we revise policy, make sure our guys are doing what they're supposed to do. It's an important process, but I do get to learn every facet of the department. Chief mentioned the fleet. We mentioned the fleet's in pretty good shape. We have a new traffic car that maybe you've seen out there. It's a shadow marked vehicle. We've assigned it to a traffic officer temporarily. He is not responsible for the day-to-day patrol calls, but to focus strictly on motor vehicle enforcement. I know Lieutenant Wheeler with the patrol division will give you a little bit more on that. That runs into grants. There's some upcoming grants that I work with Victoria and the grant office to do. Some annual ones, DUIs coming up. So we'll be out Thursday nights, Friday nights, Saturday nights looking for DUIs. Click your ticket. We did a rural grant last year that we qualified through the state that was very successful. The guys bought into it, and we know that traffic safety, pedestrian safety is one of the highest priorities we have, that we hear from the public, and the guys are understanding it. I want to touch on community outreach. So I'm also the community outreach supervisor. I'm sure a lot of you know Officer Schneider. He's been extremely busy, as well as integrating with the rest of the department. Just some of the highlights that Officer Jake has done this year. He's been a presence downtown. We did a tour of the new Loaves and Fishes recently, so I got to see how that's working. He's a presence down there. The CPA, the mayor mentioned, if that's running and you ever want to just stop in and get a topic, by all means come in. We can make that flexible. We have our set class. It's very interesting. You get to see a little bit more what the PD does. And from my end, I send officers there to help instruct, and the feedback's been great from the officers who get to meet the public. At first they don't know I got to talk about this. I'm a little nervous in front of the public, but once the feedback afterwards, it's all positive. Officer Schneider helped with the North Carolina hurricane relief donation. Mayor, you were very instrumental in that. That was a fantastic thing. Lieutenant Wheeler and I were able to fly at the aviation unit in North Carolina, which is something I'm very proud of this year. But Jake on the back end at Home Depot is doing a lot of work. Stuffer Cruiser, Mr. Mayor mentioned, we filled the entire police van plus a trailer this weekend, so that's fantastic. We have an upcoming event with Shop with the Cop on Saturday, so I'll be there for that. We sponsor the children, we go through and we shop with them, so that's a fantastic event. What else we got? Santa with the Seniors, Officer Schneider actually brought that back from the senior center, and it's up on the roll call board in the police department, and we're pulling down tickets, and the guys are also helping with that. So I can't speak Officer Schneider's praise enough. He does a lot out there, but he also integrates with the rest of the patrol division. And I like to say, from my end, being on the back side of it, these guys are really putting the extra effort. When I do review a body camera here or there, I talk to someone, I see how empathetic our officers are. I appreciate it. I know you guys appreciate it. But we know we're supported from this town and you guys, and I just want to know we know it's appreciated, and they're doing a fantastic job. So it's a busy role, but I enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to doing these more often with you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
As you can see, a busy lieutenant, a busy office, and he's busy because we're busy. And we're just scratching the surface tonight. And some of the things he talked about are so important. He mentioned a DUI grant. We are so laser focused now on DUI. Our officers have made over 60 DUI arrests this year, twice as many as we made last year. And we know that it's out there, and we know that it's been compounded by the legalization of marijuana. We know it's not only intoxication by alcohol, but also drugged driving. And that's something new for us that we're trying to focus on and deal with. So our officers are doing an amazing job with this new issue and problem that was brought about over the last year or so. The laws are changing to catch up with this issue. Officers now, when they bring a drunk driver in, they have to discern whether or not it's alcohol, whether or not it's drugs, and how we're going to deal with that. We do have a breath test that easily tells us about drunk driving, but there is no easy test that tells us about drugged driving. So we have a urine test option. We have a blood test option in some cases. In our cases, if it's a fatality or a serious injury accident, we'll bring them to the hospital and have them tested. The state is launching this pilot program where they want police officers to be phlebotomists. I see some issues with that. I am not in support of that.
And Chief,
Yes.
you and I talked about that. There is no way that we are going to have our officers become phlebotomists.
Exactly.
The risk is insanity.
There is a lot of liability. I don't want to put our officers in that position. I don't want to put our talent in that position. The facility is a clean facility in general, but it certainly isn't a medical facility or a doctor's office or a hospital type environment. Our officers are surely very cautious about these things, but I just can't see our officers doing it.
Randy, could you imagine that?
Absolutely not.
Could you imagine
Let's see, show. I don't
It's
think
insane.
But what is it?
The
Stop,
state,
pulled over, right?
Uh-huh.
And you may be under the influence. So this new rule that comes from Hartford, of all places, they should be worried about their own selves, right? And their own crime. Don't worry about here.
Yeah,
right? But now they want the police officers to draw your blood.
is that right?
Geez, is it,
That's insane.
I know. it's
Mary Jane, you ever
bothers
heard of
me.
that?
No, but I
is
can
it-
tell you
is it
from years
sort of
of
the
drawing blood.
type thing?
Started
No,
by
it's
the-
a full bout.
The alcohol and the.
Yes.
Well,
So,
The insurance company's gonna do an exclusion for that.
yes, so we're opting out. We do have options, obviously, our officers are trained otherwise to notice physical cues, which could be indicative of those who are on drugs, so we're gonna do the best we can with that,
So,
which is available.
I don't mean to interrupt, but can they just be brought to the ER and have some?
Yes, so we have a very good relationship with our hospital, and they're very helpful with us. And like I said, in a serious accident, we certainly are going to do that. And in some cases, we may need to do that, but don't forget there's still a urine test that's available, and that's an option. So we do deal with it as best we can. Nevertheless, the officers are doing excellent work. And the only reason they're able to do such excellent work is because the support that they have. They know it's not us that are getting it done, it's the officers and the detectives at the base that are really doing the yeoman's work.
Question, is that something that the public, I mean, this is news to me, you know about it, but is it
just found
something
out
about, right, but if the public knew, let's say you're smoking, you're not drinking too much, you pull them over, and they know that you're gonna pull up your sleeve and alcohol and start to take blood.
So
That might be a deterrent.
it is a new program, and it will, as any new program, be tested throughout. So we'll see where it goes in the next few years, and we'll watch and see.
Who proposed the program from the Hartford? Who proposed it?
I'm not sure who exactly did, but it came from the legislature. So these are just a few of the things. Like I said, we're just scratching the surface, and I really do want to give Lieutenant Wheeler an opportunity. He is the commander of our Fields Services Bureau, and the patrol division is the backbone of our department, and he obviously commands the largest division in our police department, and rightfully so. 31 years of experience, decades-long experience as a sergeant, many years as a lieutenant. He's an invaluable resource. And Lieutenant Wheeler, would you come up and give a brief?
Chief Lobotomist. Chief Lobotomist.
Lieutenant, before you start,
Yes, sir.
it's a good question, because you work with the patrolmen on a day-by-day basis. What do the patrolmen think about trying to draw blood?
I think there's a lot of other issues that we need to worry about, and that's just one more, I think, difficulty that causes a potential hazard. There's a lot of other issues and safety concerns that we deal with on a normal basis, bringing sharps into an area where you're trying to control a prisoner. Now, these are things that are going to happen after an arrest is made, but it's just an option that the state is allowing the officers to do.
Mary Jane says take them to the hospital. Let them
Yeah,
do it.
well, if you've got somebody who's intoxicated and you're trying to jab them,
You're gonna-
good luck, you're gonna end up getting jabbed yourself.
Exactly.
You know?
I think that's our feeling as well. But
Yeah.
thank you for having me up here tonight, Chief. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak. I'd like to thank Mike and Kate for going ahead of me and taking all the hard work. Now, we talk about all the great things that the department does, but I'm going to keep it very short tonight. And I want to first say thank you to the men and women in the New Milford Police Department, because they make my job easy for me. They're out there doing a great job day in and day out. When we sleep in bed at night and we're asleep, or on holidays when we're all home with our families, they're out here every night, every hour, minute. Our doors never close. And I'd like to thank them for the service and the sacrifice that they do with their families for looking out for our community. Chief had mentioned the traffic enforcement that we've been doing. Our guys and girls are doing a great job out there. Obviously, we increased our efforts this year. The mayor had mentioned an increase in accidents and parking lots. But if you look at the accidents with injuries and fatalities, those have drastically declined, and that's a good thing. And that's what we're looking for. You know, we want to make sure that the roads are safe. There may be more accidents, but the severity of those accidents have decreased, and that's an important thing. And I think that's the effect that we're looking for. Next, I'd like to say that my job is to make sure that the officers out there have all the resources they need. So, you know,
I like to be in the background. I like to be quiet, and that's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm not going to say much. I just want to say thank you to everybody and the hard work that they do, and thank you for your continued support and the support of the chief.
Can I ask you a question there? Ted?
Sure.
So in the accidents,
Mhm.
in the numbers that we have, does that include the parking lot accidents?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
And I don't know how many, 100 or 200 or whatever they are. But if you took those out,
Mhm.
because they're mostly like fender bender.
Yes.
I mean, I've seen them happen myself. And wouldn't that give us a slightly better view as to what's happening on our roads?
Yeah, it would, but
I
it should.
understand why you do it, but I just, maybe next time, Chief, whoever gives us those stats, maybe.
And they're on par from last year, so it's kind of.
I don't know how
Right.
many are there, like, every month, 100 and something.
No, that's for the year.
Oh, for the year. I must see a lot of.
870 versus 845
Right.
total accidents.
Total
Total.
accidents. And then those in parking lots was 127 in 2023.
In the year.
And, yeah, and 124 so far, year to date.
So like 10 months. Well, I feel better about it, but still, I don't get it. I mean, it's a pretty steep. I just know. But thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
You're a fantastic, fantastic director of health that you have. Bruce?
So a few things. So one, and I'm glad you mentioned accidents with injuries, because to me that's the important one we monitor. The chief knows every few months I'll send him an email and ask him for an update. And when I last looked, and I think it was two or 3 months ago, I think we were down 15% year over year in that, and I think that's the accreditation to the enforcement part of the kind of the plan that she put in place a year or two ago. And I really just want to say that, how proud I am of this police department. Rank and file leadership team. We went, I think, last year from the 7th safest town in Connecticut to the 5th this year. And hopefully we still climb the ranks, but that's really due to this continuous improvement mentality you have. And again, I don't know how often I'll see something happen somewhere in the nation, some horrific incident. And I'll think, what would happen if that happened here? And I'll email the chief. And he always has something in place here. This is what we do here. And it really gives me, and I think our community, a great sense of comfort that you all are here doing your job, as you said, every minute, day in, day out. And I just can't thank you enough, because yours is a profession that has gotten a lot tougher around the country to do the last few years. But you all keep coming here, and this community supports you because of the job you do. So thank you.
Well, thank you for your remarks. We appreciate it. And you stole my final comment of the evening, was that the testament, the work that we do, it shows exactly in that ranking that we are the 5th safest town in the state of Connecticut. And we've, I think, started at 9 when the chief came here, down to 7, and now down to 5, and we're working to move down that list. So they are doing a great job out there. And we wouldn't be able to do it without a team effort, and that's all of us. We all care about the community. We're out here doing our best to make sure it is the safest community. Thank you, and good evening.
I have a little feedback for you.
Yes.
This is just, so I drive on Route 7, coming north, going south. And the last couple of times on my way back, coming north, as we approach the edges of where the high school is, everybody slowed down. I thought maybe you put a sign up or something, or you had something, but no, everybody just seems to be.
Word is out.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
The word is out.
Right, and it's gonna happen, so, but I think you should be very proud of that. It just, what you've done so far, talking about it and the enforcement that you're gonna be doing beyond, I was surprised.
Yeah, thank you so much. I've been taking the tours Dr. Perlado's been offering us, and today I was at the high school in New Plain. So far, 4 schools, 1 to go, and I've been meeting the officers in the schools.
Mm-hmm.
What can I say? Personable, professional, the kids have great relationships with them, and it's just, it felt really good. And I felt safe going into these buildings, and that people were paying attention. You picked the right people to be there, because it really was impressive. And then the only other comment I have is, we may be making our roads safer, but people are driving faster on them because they're being improved so much. So that's why the department's working against each other. But I wish there were a way that the community could help more with slowing down. Maybe if we all, those of us who care, actually drive slower and pull people up. I don't care if someone's on my, I'm gonna drive the speed limit or less, and I don't care. And I think that more of us need to do that as a community. We just have to slow down.
Agreed.
Got a couple of black BMWs I'd like to see.
Yeah.
One of them I want to do my own pick around.
Paul, when you see him, give us a call. We'll be out there.
They go by too fast.
I can't get the license plate on them because I'm going to wind up speeding myself. So the next move is pick me over. Take them out myself.
That's why we're here.
But we got, I know we got two of them in town that are very bad. And I don't know if you're aware of them or what, but something's got to be done. There's two black BMWs there. Raising hell out here in the streets.
Right on Main Street.
Yeah.
I just want to say, thank you, like everybody else, for the great work and the testimony for the great work you guys are doing. Is, I know policemen in Newtown and Denver, and they're saying good things happen. So never mind, we like you anyway. So, but those people are saying things are happening. So, and the good word spread around, so it's a bad word, right? So I'd rather have the good word to begin with. One of the statistics I like to add to what we're discussing every now and then is how many people, when you stop, do not have documents and cannot communicate in English. The reason I'm asking for that is that the insurance companies, any accidents happens, they're collecting that information. And I'll give for instance, let's say you have 100 incidents or accidents in New Milford, and then you have to do the protocol or whatever, or the paperwork, and goes to insurance. We're all paying right now for the uninsured motorists already. We're being taxed. It's a tax. That's pretty much what it is, which is giving from the top to the bottom, which is insurance to us. Now, the more of those things happen, they're collecting this information. Let's say we have 50 of those this year. Next year, if we have 150, all of our insurances are going up significantly. Mine went up. Not because of I don't have the statistics. So, but one of the things, what I would like to do, hopefully with what happens in the country for better after the election, things are going to go different directions, where you guys are not going to have your hands tied because I know you do. So I want to be politically correct because I'm not, but I would like to know if we can keep those statistics, whether or not we have that issue here, when you stop someone, the person that doesn't have any identification.
Well, we run into a few different issues. One is no insurance. And people get in an accident and are hit, and the other person has no insurance. These people are victims. They go through heck to try to get their car repaired, try to collect it, try to get their car repaired without their insurance going up. So it's a tragedy. We have zero tolerance for that. Whenever we come across somebody that doesn't have insurance, we're going to arrest them, and we're going to make sure that they pay the price for that violation. It is a problem when that happens. If they don't have a license, obviously we have that charge, and we go in that direction. Zero tolerance again. If you're driving without a license, you're going to be in court. You're going to have to answer to that. So those are the types of statistics we keep. Obviously, we do see a shift of culture. Our town is growing. Our town has various different aspects of our community that look at driving in a different way. So I agree, we should all drive safe, and those who drive safe should do so. you know, everybody's got every excuse in the book. We hear it all. We hear why they got in an accident. We hear why they got caught speeding. But you know what it comes down to? Personal responsibility. They need to take responsibility. It's them pushing that pedal to the floor. It's them. It's a big part of.
True, but the second part is the consequence.
And the consequences.
Because that has to be, if you don't enforce it, whatever the bad behavior is just a replication of the bad behavior because there's no consequence.
So there is this generational aspect, you know, the younger teenagers seem to drive. We are, and
Playscape to be constructed at Carlson Grove by Creative Recreation LLC, and to authorize Mayor Bass to execute all documents necessary to accept the gift, including a memorandum of understanding with O&G Industries and a goods and installation contract with Creative Recreation LLC in the amount of $65,320, and to further authorize the Director of Finance to pay Creative Recreation LLC said sum upon satisfactory completion of the installation and delivery of this gift to the town.
Section.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Question. Is there work that needs to be done prior to and in addition to the 65,000? Was that ground prep? Every,
Does it include the removal of the play area that's there?
Correct.
So we up in Northville are always happy about the way you guys take care of the park.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any objection, any abstentions? Thank you, everyone.
Item number 9, I'd like to move that we accept the project for drainage work on Hine Hill Road, which is now going to be becoming a scenic road, or maybe it is a scenic road.
It's a scenic
It is already a scenic road, and we'll have our DPW discuss that.
Truck's up here, and it is coming before you as for the scenic road ordinance.
Oh, is that one? That's a motion, yes, that was a motion.
I'll second that.
Monday Night Football's on.
Good evening again. I'll keep this short and sweet. So I'm back here to convince you that drainage is important. It hasn't rained in 6 months, but I want to promise you it still is.
Can't wait till Wednesday.
Yeah.
Well, you're right. So this is a project that's been going on since last winter and probably a little bit before that. You know, heavy rains last year caused some damage across town. Hine Road, being a scenic road and a gravel road, sustained a lot of damage. Existing facilities are currently catch basin structures, and then we're talking about the western end by Northern View, so about an 800-foot stretch on that portion of this gravel road. So there's some existing catch basin structures, some concrete drainage pipes along the edge of the road. Also along the edge of the road, it's just a natural rock swale. And why there's both, I don't know. This was installed many years ago. Catches both the road water and sheet flow from the field above. So after speaking with the homeowners on that road, a scenic road committee was formed by town council. We reviewed, investigated. We had a consultant come in, put some fresh eyes on it, and produced a proposal plan. And what it does, it removes these catch basin precast structures from the side of the road, reincorporates that original stone swale alongside. So if you're heading west, it'll be on the left side of the road along the field as you approach Northern View. There will be a couple remaining structures. You'll have to get water from one side of the road to the other, of course, where it naturally ends up. And at the very top, where there's a earthen berm embankment, there's no room for a swale, so you'll see a structure there. But you know, we talk about resiliency. We do it with bridges, we do it with drainage projects. This is something we're looking to do now at all the roads. You know, we asked for the 400,000 earlier. This is one of those projects that it's going to be going towards. Now, this project will be done in-house by DPW forces, minimal design and minimal material cost. But it's something important to sustain the scenic road values of that road itself and just take some pressure off the highway department for the endless amounts of maintenance man hours into these gravel roads, and this being one of them. So again, the proposal is just to remove precast structures, reinforce the natural riprap swale that's there, narrow the road back to 12 feet. You know, over the years, whether by plowing or grading, it's kind of gone in and out 12 to 13 to 14 feet. So we want to restore what's there. Again, we're sticking with the scenic road values on this one, return it to something more natural looking, and make it maintainable going forward. So this plan has been reviewed by the Scenic Road Committee, which are residents on there. I have an overwhelming support. Thank you, Councilor Murphy, for that as well. So this committee itself is, you know, in concurrence with this plan going forward. So I'm here tonight to ask for your blessing as well and to move this project along.
And before there's any questions, just a scribbler's error, it's not Hine Hill, it's Hine Road.
That's right. That's.
What? That is correct. Hine Road.
Any questions for Chuck? Chris?
Chuck, were there any disagreements with what the town thinks is best and what the residents want on this one?
On this road, no. We actually, conceptually, it goes back to what it once was at one point. One of the homeowners provided some pictures of, when the original swale got installed, and that was kind of the idea we based, this plan on. And we sent that to the designer, our consultant firm, who just basically reenacted that. Ran the drainage calculations to make sure what we are installing will be stable, and it does pass that. So everyone on this committee has been on board and in full support of this project.
It's my understanding in general, I don't know about this road in particular, but in general, gravel roads are more expensive to maintain than paved roads.
You are correct. Per lane mile, it's very expensive.
Right. But we do it because it's part of the character of the town, that's what our residents want, and this, I would certainly support what the town wants to do.
Yes, when the scenic road ordinance was created, there was a desire for that. We uphold that. There have been some gravel roads that are non-scenic that we have paved over the years. We will seek some resident approval for that. But as far as scenic road goes, for the major alterations, we're here in front of you, with the scenic road committee's blessing for your support as well. So again, this is about resiliency and moving forward.
How long do you think the project will take?
Weather permitting.
Starting when?
Yeah.
In the spring?
Well, if we can continue in the weather like we're about to have for the next 3 or 4 weeks, the highway department's ready to get started on this. So there's a potential to see this done beginning of January, providing the weather and the frost hold off.
And does this affect fire trucks getting through, or does the school bus actually drive on that part of the road?
I haven't communicated with All-Star, the bus company yet, but because of where it is, the detour route would be so extensive, we would make sure it would be open for emergency vehicles. Again, this is just, there's a few pipes that would go under the road that will be removed, so it's very minimal work. We would bring road plates up there to make sure it'd be passable, or start the work after the buses go through.
For everyone's safety, but it's also equipment and it's a narrow road, and so it's just.
Agreed. Yep.
Mayor?
How many swales will there be now? I saw the big one, it's been there a long time.
So it's just keeping that one swale. So the swale stays where it is. It kind of gets redefined in place. It's widened out a little bit and then reinforced with some new fabric and some stone going up that same side of the road. What we're removing is the drainage structures that's really in front of that and on the other side of the road. So all the water will sheet flow into that swale on the side of the road, as well as sheet flow from that field above. So just one swale along that one side of the road, goes into a collector pipe, goes across the road out into the retention area in the field below.
Any other questions for Chuck? All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you, Council.
Mayor, item number 10.
Just lastly, this is our last town council meeting for the year. We reconvene in January. First and foremost, I want to thank the council for all their hard work this year. Also want to thank all of our boards and commissions. Hope everybody has to celebrate a blessed Christmas. For those that celebrate Hanukkah, they have a blessed Hanukkah as well. And again, thank you to all the residents for entrusting us with your thoughts, prayers, and moving the town forward. So thank you, everybody. And again, thank you to the council.
Mr. Mayor, motion to adjourn.
Yes, sir. All in favor? Aye. Thank you, everyone. Cheers.
Thank you.
You don't have to